Welcome back to We Are Live, the second segment on a Friday
Woo!
on Endgame, Game Changer Infinity Friday. Hello, everybody. It's Chris Tim and Travis Terrell, joined live at the Midcoast studio by friend of all, the great Joshua Eker, Brother Lee and Leather Jackals, and just joshing around. What's up, Josh?
Thanks for having me, fellas.
You've cooled up the room.
First off, the hair and makeup department here really needs stepping up. I don't know. I showed up at 5:30 a.m. You know, for hair and makeup, and I mean they were really nice. I'll give them that. But
Badass musician, it says on your title. Is that fair?
mostly drop the bad, or yeah.
Okay.
Or just the ass. Yeah. So
Travis is into ass musicians.
Hey, wait.
Yeah.
What? I think that's how it works.
Our buddy Josh has a gig tonight with our friends over at the Midwestern. Our buddy John's the GM of that place.
Indeed,
and you're going to be playing some tunes there, and then the livery later on. So if you're in St. Louis, you can see Josh tonight.
Double-
Midwestern downtown by the
double
the
header
stadium.
tonight.
Yeah. Is that a sports term?
I don't know. I don't watch sports enough to
gotcha.
really. You guys are the sports guys,
Right.
You know, so you tell me.
Welcome to the sports show.
Yeah.
We're
Wait, am
entertainment
I on?
now.
Am I on Sports Center?
This is. That's
Okay.
what's happening.
I was supposed to be at We Are Live.
You've made your way in.
Yeah.
Josh, you've been a musician, would you say, touring, playing shows for how long?
I'd say probably 13 or 14 years at this point.
So
Grizzled
Yeah.
veteran. What did you
Yeah.
think of one Marvis Morell over here attending your 420 show at CBGB?
I thought it was rather cool.
Yeah?
So I never
Did he stand out in
actually
the
saw
crowd?
you
Yeah, I
while
was.
we were there.
I was. You were tuning up your instrument,
Uh-huh.
and I didn't want to bother because you're an artist or in a zone. So here's the thing.
Oh, tell us, Mr.
This
Entertainment.
conversation today. you and I are creators.
Yes.
Artists.
Yes.
I think Willy Wonka would call us the magic makers.
Okay.
That's what you and I do.
Yes.
We actually take time. We think
I do love
about our
chocolate.
art.
I do
yes.
love chocolate.
And who doesn't love
Right.
chocolate? That's why we got into the business.
Psychopaths.
Of course.
Yeah.
And you were in the middle of getting right. And by no means was I going to get into your headspace. I figured, hey, I'm going to let that man, this is what he's here to do. He's here to bring the
There's
house down.
definitely
I'm gonna get out of
a
his way.
shift, you know,
Yes.
when you walk past that monitor, you know, something's different at that
Unbutton
point.
a couple buttons on the shirt.
Maybe pop that shirt off.
Oh,
you know, yeah.
you're a shirt off guy.
Sometimes depends on how hot the place is.
I've seen Josh play,
Yeah.
and the shirt will come off. You'll get some very 70s rocker feel to it.
I'm
I
also
like
a very nervous sweater.
Are you
So,
really?
Yeah. So
You ever do
half the time it's out of necessity more than anything.
Do you sweat a bunch ever if you're nervous on stage?
I
bombed a show with
what, you bombed?
yeah, believe it
way.
or not. I went up and told a story on a storytelling show in front of a full crowd, and it bombed, and I did not do well. And
Were you sweating a lot?
oh, unbelievable! I could feel it just dripping off of me every
That makes
single second.
I guess that makes
Not a good feeling.
It's not.
You've learned to cope.
Sometimes.
Sometimes you work through it.
So what is your mental preparation? Because I was dead serious. Like I saw you and I was
How
like,
has social media influenced you?
what is your process?
That's two different questions here.
Sorry, Travis. Continue.
I was asking again, creative to creative.
Okay. Oh, God.
Why,
Oh, boy.
how do you get into that headspace? Because you've been doing it now for as long as you have. But is there ever a moment where you're just like, I don't know tonight, man.
Well,
I don't.
dude, there are definitely times like whenever I used to have, you know, like almost panic attacks before. I mean, even 10 years in.
Wow,
You know,
that's
like
crazy.
I would just stand back
Really?
there.
You choose to do this.
And yeah, I know that's
Yeah.
that's the
That's the crazier part.
that's the
about it.
crazier part. Yeah.
And
is
there's the
that-
version where you could just play guitar and hide behind some stacks, but you put yourself out there as the front man.
Exactly.
Huh.
Yeah, and I never really got a lot of stage anxiety until I became the front man. Like Brother Lee is the first band I've ever been a front man or played guitar in.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
How long's Brother Lee been around?
6 years.
Okay.
6 years. Yeah, I started Brother Lee essentially because I was just learning to play guitar, and I had been a bass player up until that point, and
Travis, give me your best bass.
yeah.
Boom, doom, 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 doom.
Is that good?
Was that Mr. Sandman?
That was it. That
Or
that was-
Enter Sandman.
that was-
Enter
that
Sandman.
was-
Okay.
that was the theme to Fast and Furious.
No
Yeah.
kidding. So
Didn't know
you
that.
started that. Who did you start the band with? Any of those guys still in?
My good bud Danny Blaze. Like we started in
Sweet
his
rocker name.
in his yeah.
Yeah.
Not even a stage name.
That's pretty sweet.
That's
Cousin
his
of
genuine
Johnny.
name.
What?
Cousin of Johnny.
Johnny Blaze. Okay.
But
go on.
we started in his basement in Collinsville, Illinois.
Oh wow.
Yeah, in a duplex.
Okay.
And his neighbors had probably 13 kids living with him next door, so
Is
they
that
were
all?
just 13 kids, a couple big dogs, you know,
Yeah.
and
As duplexes tend to
as
hold.
duplexes tend to do. So we felt no shame in making all the noise that we possibly could.
don't blame
yeah.
you.
And
And Brother Lee's not exactly a soft band.
well, and it was just two of us at that point.
Oh wow. So
as
it was
well.
all
So
noise.
it was just all noise.
Oh.
And our very first song that we wrote, I had breaks every time that I sang because I couldn't sing and play at the same time. But we structured it to where it was just like had little,
That's creative.
had little pauses.
Right.
Yeah.
Every artist has that moment.
You want me to sit this one out?
But there's generally a time where you go, that's it. That's what I want to do. That's it. I don't care about
Yeah.
anything else right now. That's
Yep.
what was that for you?
I'm speechless. I don't know. I really can't say. I mean,
Now, did you come from a musical family? What got you into?
No.
How did
I
you
mean,
get to this point?
both my parents were left-handed and couldn't carry a tune in a bucket, as they both said. But my father had a guitar my whole life, but it sat in the closet. But whenever he was a kid, nobody wanted to teach a left-handed kid how to play guitar, and there wasn't really a lot of left-handed options in the area that he grew up. So I would sit in the closet as my mom would like fold laundry and whatnot, and I would just pick at the strings. But that was the first guitar that I tried to pick up and all that, and I realized I'm never going to be a good guitar player. I'm just going to play bass.
Very interesting.
That is very interesting.
So
Yeah.
Could I
Sorry.
ask a few questions?
No,
real quick?
but okay,
Okay, I'm going
yeah.
to. Have you ever had a mouth band open for you guys?
No.
I've had a lot of bands open,
Uh-huh.
and never a mouth band.
Travis and I have started a mouth band called Modest Mouth,
Modest mouth.
and we do a lot of covers. We have nothing really original as of yet, but if you guys are ever looking for something or you need us to stop by and audition,
Let's go on tour.
Should we
I
give
mean,
him a little
we'll
something?
just yeah.
Yeah, what do you want to play?
Yeah, give me a preview
I want
of
you
your
to
material.
hold something in A minor. Let's do the Star Wars theme.
Which
So I'll do bass, and you want to come in high, but you want to sing.
Are you regretting
Yeah,
this
low.
appearance?
take your time, guys.
Yeah,
Take your
okay.
time.
Okay. Here we go. Dum, 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 dum. String up the band. Dum, 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 dum.
Yeah, make sure you tune.
Are you proud of this?
They're really close. It's an A major.
Is that right?
Yeah.
It's funny because I think Travis is an A major asshole.
Woo! Shots fired. Is this still happening?
It won't stop. And
Okay.
you should do like a conductor's like.
Oh yeah. I'll be the John Williams of this. Yeah.
See, that's.
So
But I
there you
mean,
go.
so we're not like putting a ton of pressure on you to put us in front of you, like a set that you do, but. If you can like put the word out that there is a up and coming band in St. Louis,
we can
that
make flyers.
we can.
Okay. Well, flyers are great because people love throwing stuff away. It really, there's not a lot of recycling bins around.
From the promotion side, is that
yeah.
the part that I think that's
It's
the
the-
part
it's the
that's-
worst.
Yes, there we go.
I've seen
It's
it.
the
Our,
worst.
shout out to Joey O, our buddy
Yeah.
who's been a concert promoter for years. He got out of it, thankfully. And just watching him hand out flyers after a show and then
Yeah.
be forced to pick up 3/4 of them because he doesn't want the venue to be mad at him for
Exactly.
people
And-
just dropping them.
And those cost money
Yes, they
too.
do.
Yeah. And especially whenever you're a musician and a creative, that's not really something that.
I'll let you two discuss
Yeah.
that. Our buddy CJ.
That's not really something that's in mass quantities,
Right.
you know.
Yeah. Our pal CJ in the comments. Brother Lee and Fiddler was one of the best shows I've been to in years. Energy was crazy. From
great
Shane
show.
Presley, host of Rock Paper Podcast. Josh is the coolest. I don't know about
Saw
that.
Shane last Saturday. He was at the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, shout out to Shane.
tell us. So Fiddler seems like one of these bands that they've kind of gotten a hold of people at the right times. And you guys got
Yeah.
to open for them.
We got to open for them. We had been, as a band, fans of them since our early start, you know, because they were just this loud, gnarly, all their songs are about drinking and doing drugs, and we're like, hey, that's what we're doing, you know, let's hang out, you know. So our people called their people, and their people didn't call back, and so we called some more people, and
Force
yeah,
your way to the stage.
we forced our way to
Was
the
that
stage.
a sold out
yeah.
show?
It was dangerously.
Delmar
It was
Hall?
dangerously close.
Yeah, we'll just say sold out.
It
show.
was sold out.
Yeah.
They were turning people away. Like
Right.
the fire marshal came.
Travis and I
just 'cause-
bombed there to a sold out show once.
Oh, did we ever? That was tough.
We did a pun competition and it was not good.
And if I could recap all the bombs that
Right?
I've had too.
It's part of it.
So so walk us through that. I mean, like, and when I say, I don't mean to go back to a miserable point, but
Yeah.
every artist, every comedian has gone through that. This was not the night.
Well-
or this wasn't the month. Or this wasn't the year. How did you overcome that bomb? And what was the bomb actually?
Unfortunately, a lot of the bombs I don't remember.
So
Yes.
so we'll share. So,
Yes.
so
There you
Josh
go.
just shared the band that has about a drinking and drug doing songs and everything. Josh, you've been sober for how long now?
16 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
16 months off the booze, and we're pushing about a year on no pills, no powders.
Congratulations.
Good for
Yeah.
you. Congratulations.
Think you're a better musician and friend, lover, everything now?
All the above.
Yeah.
All the above.
That's
it,
awesome.
It was very hard to control the chaos of, you know, entertainment in general, you know, and trying to keep up with everything that you have to do nowadays. Like, playing music is such a small percentage of what you actually
Get to do.
yeah. And yeah, trying to keep up with everything and trying not to be so incapacitated that
Right.
I actually can play my instrument and words will correctly come out of my mouth.
Right.
This time, yeah.
What was the? Without going too deep, was there
No,
a
go
wake
deep.
up? Was there a wake up call, or was there a moment where you're just like,
It was
all right,
lit-
boys and girls,
it
we've
was
come to
literally-
a point in the program where we need to
Right.
go to intermission.
It was literally a wake-up call. I was taking naps all over the
wow.
places that I shouldn't have been taking naps at. And
Gotcha.
waking up of puddles of my own
Yeah.
device, and yeah, it was bad. It was very bad.
What-
But it's all good now.
What advice would you give to someone who may have gone through what you're going through or going through it right now? What would you say to them for those folks who are trying to turn that corner?
Life is so much more rewarding now.
Yeah.
Like it all has much more of a purpose.
Right.
You know, there's not a the big dark cloud is still there, but it's not constantly
Right.
having lightning storms,
Right.
and you know, there's a bit of an umbrella
Being
now.
able to-
yeah.
That's fantastic.
And being
Yeah.
able to, I would imagine, utilize your music
Yeah.
to kind of give you that refuge.
Yeah.
Has that been how has music changed now for you?
Well, so the whole last record, you know, like a lot of the songs previous, you know, like I said, were
You
all
guys are on
about
Spotify, YouTube,
Spotify,
everything, by the way.
iTunes, all the platforms. But all the songs previous, besides the last record, had been all about drinking and doing drugs, and you know, the occasional serial killer sprinkle in. but the last
Gardner's
one,
intrigued.
yeah. But the last one was all about serial killers and like demons and the devil and stuff. But it was pretty much, we started writing the album about a week and a half, 2 weeks after I got sober. And so I was in a space where I was like, well, I'm not doing this anymore, so I can't write about it. So I had to find this whole new subject matter to write about. And before it was like, you know, Mom always says, write what you know about.
Right, what you know about.
You know, and in these new batch of songs that we're working in, I'm definitely going back to more of the partying, because
Probably feel comfortable to have some fun again.
Yeah, no,
Right?
exactly.
That's
Like,
good.
you know, I was a student of partying for a long time. So, you know, I
Would you say you got
I got
your-
my degree.
I was gonna say,
I got
yeah,
my
yeah.
degree, and so now, yeah, I'm just like, well, you know what? I know so much about this. I'm not being a hypocrite,
Right.
as because baby, I was there. Wow. Oh, baby, I was there.
Again, go check. I just put a link in the comments for one of the brotherly videos, Hail Hail the Rat King.
Yes.
In the comments, you guys can check that out on YouTube. Gardner?
Yeah, I had a question. Did you guys practice still, or did you practice at any time at Limp?
We did.
Thought I read that.
Yeah, we spent the first probably 3 years there, like the first 2 albums, and then probably about half of the third album.
I know where the
were all
follow-up's
written there.
going. I know where the follow-up's going. I
Were
saw it in
there
his
any?
eyes.
Were there any ghosts?
There it was.
Well, speaking of demons, were
Yeah.
there any demons or ghosts while you were practicing?
I never.
Josh
I never
looks up
physically.
while they're playing a demon song, and the
Yeah.
dude's just like tapping, like little
Yeah,
horned
he's
horned
like,
guys.
"This
like,
is my
yeah.
jam. This is about me."
Oh, Satan loves
Yeah.
it.
I never saw anything.
Okay.
But a lot of people, because I mean, every practice was essentially we just partied, right? And so there would be a lot of people that would just come in, and there were a lot of people that just hung out there at Limp too. But you know, there was heard a lot of stories. I mean, there was times where your amps would do really weird things. Like there was one time in particular, like it sounded like a demon screamed out of my amp.
It probably did.
But it was on standby.
Yeah.
Like so, you
Oh.
know, no sound was supposed to come out, and it just blasted.
Well, that's how maybe
Yeah.
they're communicating.
Yeah.
Electrical forces. That's all they are, really, at
Oh
that
well, also the electrical wiring in that place is a huge fire hazard. Yeah.
Oh wow!
know.
I did read in you guys' bio. You once were tutored by Rob Thomas.
You know, we all grew up in the '90s.
Who was
Yeah.
your band? Who was your guy, your person?
I mean,
that was like, oh, that's how they do it. I'm kind of want to mimic my game after that.
I mean, definitely, it started off as the Beatles.
Nice.
You know, and then
It's not very common.
yeah,
Never
I'm-
heard of him.
I'm strictly an original. You know.
Sure.
Yeah. No, it definitely started off as the Beatles and then into Queen, and my life changed when I was introduced to the first Black Sabbath record. And yeah, the first Black Sabbath record was, it is now the Holy Grail. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Say things go the way you want them. You get that bump. You're running around the country, and then it comes
I don't
to
do bumps
I'm about to say,
anymore.
Chris, we
Listen,
don't
guys,
want bumps.
I don't do
listen,
bumps
guys,
anymore.
take it
Avoiding the
easy.
situation.
We're an
We're avoiding the bumps.
anti-cocaine
Jesus
show.
Christ, Chris.
You get in, and you've got a little bit of a career behind you. You've had a couple platinum albums. Are you signing off on that Netflix docu-series thing that they just did for Motley Crue? Is Brotherly? You signing off on those? Are you allowing your bad times to be your open flesh wounds to be exposed?
I'm very open and honest about, you know, all of those times anyway. So yeah, Netflix, if you want to make a movie, please do, because hopefully that'll make me some money.
Say that check ain't too bad.
Yeah, that
Right.
check would be very helpful.
We're going to get to the sentence week in just a second. Real quick, you've got Jackal Fest coming up this summer. What's going on with that? How do people hang out? How do they see it?
July 20th, we'll be at 2720. We'll be announcing the bands very soon. Yeah, I'm excited to do it at 2720. We've done it in the Grove the last 3 years. This will be our 4th year. We did a lot of touring bands last year, but we're going to do a lot more locals. And, I mean, 2720 is, I mean, you want to go back to dirty days with me.
A lot of time spent
A lot
there,
of
huh?
time spent.
Okay.
And, yeah, so it'll be good to really revive.
Get into that.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Nice.
Before we jump into Sentence Week, I got to tell you guys about Buzz's Hawaiian Grill. You ever heard of them?
I've heard of them.
You have too. You into the
Yum.
poke?
Poke, I hardly know you.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yes.
You've
That's
been-
good. That's good. That's
Travis,
good.
your influence
That's
knows
pretty
no
good.
bounds,
That
and this is
absolutely-
bothering me now.
I was,
Be sure-
I was actually quite a respectable young man before I started hanging
Right,
with Travis.
yeah,
That's true.
You're gonna ruin it all,
Yeah.
Travis.
He was a librarian.
Maybe we'll see Brother Lee playing on top of Buzz's truck, Teen Wolf style someday.
nice.
Maybe.
All you got to do is ask.
That's right.
yeah.
Buzz's Wine Grill, check out their locations. They serve the St. Louis area. Your Facebook page, very easy to find. You guys be sure to support them because they support us. For Fair or Foul today, we'll give away $10 to Buzz's Hawaiian Grill. We do a sentence of the week. Josh, are you familiar with this?
No.
Let me catch you up.
No. Yeah, catch
Travis
me up.
has a speech impediment of sorts or a brain impediment. He would be he'd be out like if this was elementary school, we'd all get to class, say the Pledge of Allegiance, and then a special teacher would come by, round him up, and take him to like a trailer for the rest of the day for his focused
insulting.
classes.
We call that VIP, not.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
yeah.
Remember, but before that,
What is happening? As someone who formerly used drugs, does that sound like somebody who's maybe under the influence of something?
Wait.
I mean, this is
Mm-hmm.
we're talking about super issues here. man.
Let's stick to the segment, okay?
Well,
Let's
the
not bring it
segment
personal.
is something happens on a weekly basis.
You
This
know
isn't
what?
a once a month thing.
I feel that pain though, because I always thought it was the liquor and drugs that made me fall down and not be able to talk as
Yeah.
well. I'm just clumsy and have
There it
have a
is.
twisted tongue as
I've
well.
resorted to blaming CTE for my issues,
yeah,
not for yours. Yeah, anything I'm just like, oh, I have a brain malfunction now.
Probably,
Yeah.
Probably that sugar in your caffeine.
That's true.
No sugar anymore. Remember? Want me to tell you guys about it?
The Sugar Man, Chris Denman.
Old Sugarfoot better watch his mouth. All right, well, we got this sentence of the week. Gardner, what do we have?
Yeah, so I compile a list of words that Travis screws up throughout the week and try and turn that into a sentence or a paragraph. It
Okay.
really depends on how many words you screwed up that week on what
Yeah.
I'm able to do with it. And so we've done that.
Oh, I had a tough week.
You're okay,
You
I
had
think.
a tough 3 years.
But I actually included a word Chris struggled with
Ooh.
in the sentence this week.
I don't like that mirror in front of my face. What's going on
It
here?
sucks. It sucks. Trust me, I look in the mirror every morning. Not happy. Not happy.
I hear you.
So I'm going to flash up here your sentence of the week. All right, Travis? Now, don't look it over and don't like slow down how you normally talk. Read at the pace you normally do. Okay?
It's time for
You,
the
no,
sentence
you don't need an intro. You just do it.
of the week. I'm not looking at the screen right now. I'm currently meditating, getting my mind right.
Jump into it. The intern's falling asleep.
Here we go. Narrowing down the substantive analysis from both ends of the spectrum revealed a general consensus throughout the burgeoning 5 boroughs of New York City.
One more
So
time.
good.
Narrowing down the substantive
Whoa.
analysis from both ends of the spectrum revealed a general consensus throughout the burgeoning 5 boroughs of New York City.
Again, I'm going to give you some credit because I don't know what that word is either. What is it?
To guard that word, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
If there's a word that's haunted me since I was probably in 3rd or 4th grade, it's substantive.
What?
Substantive.
Just look at substantive.
Substantive.
Where are you getting these
Substantive.
other letters?
Substantive. Because I
Ooh.
feel like there should be an I in between N and T.
Why?
I think because it
No, he
helps.
said
No,
I.
yeah.
Like
yeah.
substantive. Substantive.
You think somebody tuning in for the first time thinks they've found their way to some kind of like special program?
Okay.
It's,
All right, one more time.
Narrowing down the substantive analysis from both ends of the spectrum revealed a general consensus throughout the 5 boroughs of New York City.
You left burgeoning out.
I
You
did that on purpose.
completely left
because
that.
I was like a hurdle, and I was like, let me
if this
just
trips you up,
run
how are
through
you
it.
going to make it in New York?
Man, that's a great question. That's a great question.
Well, you should
Well,
answer
see,
it.
he's writing words down in New York.
Here's the creative talk that I don't understand.
He's
Okay.
writing them down.
Got it.
It's someone else's job to,
Thank you.
to
Well,
speak
read
them.
the-
Yeah.
read the
Let's
words.
maybe
Yeah.
he's got some anxiety, depression issues. Maybe he needs to speak to St. Louis Counseling Services. We had Tom Duff on earlier this week. We love Tom and we love Debbie over at St. Louis Counseling. Wonderful services. You don't have to be Catholic to go there. They've been improving lives since 1955. They are a community-based charitable organization that is here for you, your business, individuals, any type of counseling help. They're there. And check out the podcast, Mental Health Matters, where they're breaking down the stigma on a weekly basis right here at the Midcoast Studios. That's St. Louis Counseling Services, proud sponsor and partner of Midcoast, and we are live. Josh, you look like you have something to say.
I'm just so happy that the stigma is being broken down.
It is cool.
About that.
Yeah.
You know?
It's come a long way, hasn't
It
it?
has come. It has
Oh
come
my
a long
gosh,
way.
yeah.
It's come a long way. Like it just, and it's, I don't want to, I do this from time to time. Gardner calls me out for it, but it's something about recently in this generation being able to do something that a lot of previous generations just were, for whatever reason, unable to address head on.
Yeah.
And we've seen the ramifications just throughout recent history on how that had a drastic effect on families, communities, cultures. And to now see, I don't think this generation gets enough credit for confronting something that our parents dealt with, our grandparents dealt with, our great-grandparents did. Well,
I think it's curing ignorance in a lot.
I
You understand why people are the way they are, why certain things happen. You take away that boogie monster of like, well, he's an idiot. He's just a bad person. It's like, no, he was abused and now he does this. Not taking away any responsibility, but there are understanding.
But I think just in general, and again, I'm not comparing it to like what the baby boomers were able to accomplish, but I think this generation deserves credit for finally bringing our communities, our families into the mainstream and addressing mental health issues. And I think that's something that I think we can.
What do I call you out for? You started your sentence with that.
I don't know.
Just wanted to divert a little bit.
You say, yeah, Gardner calls me out for this.
Oh,
but then
no,
I'm-
calls me out for like exaggerating like the greatest of all time.
I
and-
gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, that's
okay,
what I meant.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was unclear because you didn't.
No, like not in a negative fashion. Like in that, here goes Travis again with an over-the-top
Oh, here's
proclamation.
Gardner. He makes fun of the mentally ill.
No, he
people
makes
with
fun of-
problems.
he makes fun of
let's,
me
Let's
making-
watch yourself there.
You're right. Let me.
Who
try that
readily
again.
admits he has his own every single day.
Gardner
Yeah, I
comes
would
after
say-
Travis for his over-the-top proclamations when it comes to.
that is fair.
So yes. That's what I meant.
So you can see my coffee cup by Jack, our partner and co-owners here at Midcoast. Josh works with them.
I do.
For a small company, Midcoast, we've got a large percentage of sober folks here, and I love it because it's you two are great ambassadors to that because you live your lives, you don't judge others. And I mean, no, Gardner's a horrible judge of character for other people, but
I'm not a good
let people do your
example,
thing.
is what I would say for people. Mm-hmm. The only thing that people look to me as example, they're like, how do you go to a bar every day? And I go, well, sometimes I leave when you idiots are around me too long.
yeah.
And then,
Sometimes I go
I
outside
have to realize, oh my God, this is what I was.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and that's
Sometimes
Son
I go
of a
outside and
bitch.
smoke a whole pack of cigarettes.
Yeah,
to
that's
think
what
about-
I go out back of the bar,
Yeah.
and hopefully no one else comes out there, and I can just sit by myself.
But
That's
would
all I
you
really want to
But
allow.
would you acknowledge that? And I've kind of, and again, I'm not a doctor by any stretch of the imagination. But
well,
I'm-
we've confused you with
I
one
know a lot of
on
people
many
have. I
occasions.
know
Oh,
people
doctor.
have. Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
But I'm curious though. I feel like that routine is what you need.
Here's what I had to decide. I had to decide: the people I was drinking with, were they drinking buddies or actual friends?
Right.
You
Right.
have to make that decision.
Yeah.
I actually thought about that. I
I
don't
see
tell
what-
them that. I'm like,
Wow,
I had to decide
interesting.
this because I had to be extremely selfish when initially starting this because it was all about me.
It should have been.
And
about
so
you.
that's what it was at
It was
that
your
point.
battle. Yeah.
You're a greedy
So
man.
it had to be for a while.
Yes, of course.
So I was like, okay, are these my friends or not?
Right,
and I
right.
decided they were. So I'm like, if they're my friends, I'm going to hang out with them
Yeah.
and do what I have to do. And they understand that.
I wish you would have cut me out of your life, but I didn't know you then. Are you working on it now?
No.
I knew. Oh, damn it.
So this wasn't
We're stuck with each other.
Yeah, we are.
this wasn't my first time trying to get sober. I tried a few years back and crashed and burned terribly.
The first time I tried, I made it a month.
Yeah, I made it 3
And
months
then
my first time.
I saw scotch and decided to have it.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
I
You guys
I
think
went,
do you think this solution's for everybody? Is it a solution for
No,
everybody?
I mean,
No,
it's up to,
no.
just like even
Yeah.
people that remain sober, sometimes AA is beneficial to them, sometimes it's not. AA wasn't for me. I have a friend that
exactly.
lives and dies with AA, and I've gone to meetings with him, even though it doesn't
What's his
work for
name?
me. I'm not going to say.
Yeah, I tested you there.
But I've gone to meetings with him to support him in what he does. He
Yeah.
started getting sober a little bit after I did, like a year or so after I did. I went and he took the rehab route. I didn't take the rehab route. I could have ended up there at some point.
Totally.
It didn't work for him the first time. The second time it did.
Mm-hmm.
So it's what I tell people is like, here's my story. Do with it what you will.
Exactly.
I can't tell you how it ends for you or what works for you. Here's what works for me and why. And I also had to ask myself, why was I drinking the way I was? It's not just, you stopped drinking. There's a reason
There's a
why
reason
you're drinking the
why.
way you are.
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely.
You
Oh,
have
yeah.
to address those issues or else it's not going to
Yeah.
work. That's the biggest thing.
It really is.
Yeah, why?
Yeah.
Why am I doing this? Why am I acting this way? For me, it's sometimes my brain just goes,
and
and
so
I can't
Yeah.
stop it. And that's how I was stopping it. I have found ways to address that now, and I just try to remain active.
So on
That's
those
all.
points, then for you guys, there was a reason why you were drinking. What was your reason why to stop? What was your why?
Do we have that? We don't have
And
that
you don't
much
have to go
time,
down.
man.
And
We
you
don't
don't have
have
to take
that.
it deep. But I'm curious. I would imagine there was something or someone
I'll
that
tell
came
you-
along in your life that basically said, "Oh, that's my why to not do that anymore."
I got a DUI. It wasn't my first,
Yeah.
and this one, I had a blood alcohol level of 0.330.
Oh, Jesus.
And I remember everything from that night.
Jesus.
That scared the hell out of me because it should have killed a lot of people having a blood alcohol level at that point.
We would have had a really
But I
good time
remembered,
together.
I know, I know we would have.
Stop it.
Most certainly.
Both of you. Stop
But
it.
I remember the girl next to me was getting arrested. It was a checkpoint.
Wow.
And I remember everything that happened. I remember getting out of this checkpoint, someone taking a cab back to the bar, continuing drinking that night and into
Yeah.
the morning at the blood alcohol level I already had.
Yeah.
And I basically had the blood alcohol level of Stan Musial's career batting average.
Jeez.
And
A noble number in a different setting.
I didn't quit the next day. I quit the day after that. I gave myself one more day to enjoy it.
Yep.
And then I quit.
Yep.
June 24th.
Wow.
Get that one last.
Yes,
that
that's
one
what I
last
did.
hurrah to
That's
get
what
well.
I did. It was
Yep.
a Sunday. I still remember that. I'm like, oh,
Yep.
this is going to be it. We're
Did
going
you
to see how
tell people
this
this
goes.
was it? Or
Uh,
did you just know it in your head?
No, I knew it. And like I went back to my parents' house for a week
Yeah.
just to be by myself to try and figure it all out. And that's where we are today. And now I'm sober and it's been miserable.
It does super blow at times.
Yeah.
But
I think
the
it's
whole thing.
you can't get away from it like you
Yeah.
used to. You used
Yeah.
to be able to get away from
Interesting.
Yeah.
life,
Interesting.
things, people,
Right.
whatever was around you.
Right.
You
Without
used
a
to be
doubt.
able to get away. Hey, you don't get. You got to deal with
Yeah.
it. But that's part of your penance. Is how I look at it.
Right.
And
So
the
now-
whole thing to bring it back around was where you're talking about, like, you know, how do you still go to bars and
Right.
do all this stuff? The first time I tried, I went to AA and stuff, and my sponsor, who was also a musician, he was just like, you're alive now. It's like you can't stop going out and seeing your friends and having fun
Yeah.
just because you're sober.
Interesting.
Yeah, just because you're not drinking, you know, because you have to go out and like live your life.
Yeah.
And all that, and which that was eventually what led to me drinking again the first time, but going into it the second time and like really being ready for myself to stop, you know, was,
the only good
was,
thing
yeah.
that came out of it for me from the last DUI I had was I got an ankle bracelet that put me on house arrest for 30 days, so it was an easy excuse not to have to do anything for
yeah,
anyone.
yeah, no doubt.
I actually quite enjoyed that part of it.
Yeah.
It's like, sorry, can't. Take care of it yourself. I'm going home.
Yep.
To that point, I am curious. It's one thing when you make the transition. How has it been for your family and friends as you make this transition? As far as you
man.
mentioned, you talk about you have
Yeah.
a life and you still have friends. I would imagine that drink and still go
Yeah.
out.
Oh,
so
yeah.
how was the transition for those relationships when you decided to go completely sober?
Everyone was so incredibly supportive, like, about it. Because, I
Nice.
mean, they dealt with me on a daily basis.
I see. I
You
see.
know,
so
so-
it made sense
so,
for them to be
yeah,
like, oh,
they-
hell yeah, we behind you 100%.
Yeah,
Oh,
totally.
gotcha.
Totally, yeah. Everybody was like, so, like I said, we wrote the first record like my first week of being sober or so, but we went down to Royal, Arkansas and wrote this new album in a cabin in the woods. And I'm like still detoxing and shaking and
Right.
doing all that fun stuff. But the guys in the band were so incredibly supportive. Like
That's
that they like, I didn't ask them not to bring any liquor or booze or anything, but they just like didn't.
Oh, wow.
You know,
That's
out
awesome.
of just like
That's
out
really
of helping
cool.
me
That's
out.
really
And
cool.
that was like, that means more to me than they'll ever know.
That's awesome.
Because I didn't want to like impede on a good time ever, you know, like just because of something that I decided to do. And they were very, very, very supportive.
That's
in
awesome.
That. Yeah.
That's
really
what it
cool.
takes.
Yeah.
And everyone loves having a designated driver that they
Dude,
knows there with them all the time.
Touring,
true.
touring is so
true.
much easier now. Touring is so much easier now
Because you guys already have that one guy that
Yeah.
can drive everybody.
Yeah,
around.
so like I'm always the nighttime driver
Yeah.
and stuff like that, and yeah, but like not waking up at a stranger's house hungover and having to
Park
sit,
bench in Forest Park.
yeah, having to sit in a van with a bunch of other hungover guys, and after many days on the road and you smell bad, and, you know, it's a lot easier to do that not hungover
It's
these
the
days.
life.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's how it works. Guys, I got to tell you about Getaway Carts. GetawayCarts.com is the website. You can learn more about customizable bodies, trims, wraps. They'll help you out. You want your golf cart, Gardner? They're part of the Carte Blanche movement.
Yeah, I do.
Getaway Carts, the family-owned business, specializes in high-quality golf cart sales, service, installation, and parts and accessories shipped to your door free of charge. Done right. Done right in the golf cart service department. They also sell new and used golf carts and boast the best customer service in the industry. Getaway Carts is your one-stop shop for everything golf carts and would be happy to earn your business today. Again, check out all their capabilities or email them at info@getawaycarts.com. Another great small business working with us here at We Are Live. We've got Fair or Foul coming up. Topic today ripped from Angela Smith's Twitter, requiring an ex to be interviewed as part of your job application.
To use an X as a
Reference, I'm sorry.
For a
We got it
job
right
interview.
here. Email us, wall@weareliveradio.com. You can win
Same thing
$10
I
to
said.
Buzz's Hawaiian
A
Grill.
lot of this Cocky McGee over here is just very, oh, you can ask me on my exes. You can
Oh,
talk
I'm
to
friends
them
with all
anything.
my exes.
Oh, I'm cool with them. They'll say something very glowing about me. All right.
Let's find out if that's true or not.
I wonder would former governor of Missouri, Eric Greitens, wonder would his ex have
Do you remember
anything
him?
nice
Do you
to
remember
say
the
about him?
Greitens scandal from last year? Oh, it was a mess.
So let's just say, I'll give you a brief recap. Last year, the Missouri governor,
A Jewish man from
was,
West County, St. Louis.
had been exposed for having a relationship, but that relationship was more than meets the eye.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, there was some sexual assault. There was some handcuffs. A lot of things involved.
There were no handcuffs.
There were
restraints,
Yes.
allegedly.
okay.
Yeah,
Allegedly.
ropes are
I
different.
was wondering
than
how
cuffs.
this recap was going to go.
Yeah,
it's
always
probably about as
interesting.
bad as you thought it was going to go.
It's interesting to see where it'll go.
The
But
fact of the matter is, we've been reviewing over the last few weeks the story of the year from a year ago.
Yes.
That was Eric Greitens and the scandal that was sex,
Well, and
drugs,
no drugs.
money,
Machine
money,
guns?
most certainly money.
machine guns,
Government cover up.
Machine
cover-ups,
guns.
Hillary Clinton, Donald Trump,
local boy done
emails.
wrong.
Emails.
emails,
Oh, what about his emails?
dark money,
Well, Confide. He had that app on his phone that would
yeah.
get rid of text and make them
sunshine
disappear.
law, non-transparency,
Wait, what kind of money did you say
The
it
dark
was?
web.
the dark money.
Yo, what kind of money, yo?
Oh no.
Eric Greitens is a conservative warrior, and when he fights back, he brings out the big guns.
Is that a hey, maneuver?
Remember that guy?
Maneuver, we're kind of up against it, sweetie. You're going to have to go outside with the rest of the kids.
I'll probably do what I want.
Okay, well, Maneuver,
Yeah.
I care about you, but I
You
really...
ain't care about nobody but yourself.
Well, that's not true, Maneuver. If that was the case, you wouldn't be here right
Take
now.
your big bird loving ass and get.
Okay, you ain't got to be like that. You ain't got to use that language.
Smoke your ass at Foursquare. You stay out of here.
Okay, that ain't necessary for you to talk like we have a guest in the studio. Say hello to Josh.
He ain't shit.
Oh, well, damn. We do not treat our guests like that, Maneuver. Why don't you go play now? Go play a skip it or something.
Guys that look like him, my mama just throws change at them.
Oh, no, that is your mom should not be racist.
I
as hell.
accept your mom's change.
Oh, God. Josh,
I accept your mom's change.
Told you.
You know how to speak to the toddler. You go along now, Maneuver. Go eat you a sugar something. See, now, Chris.
Go eat you some sugar-free whipped cream.
Travis, you racist as hell. Come on.
So what's this Greitens talk all about?
So we have this day in Greitens history. 3 days late this week. Got a little busy.
the people at home were taking note on your calendar of Greitens.
If you're following along with the timeline,
Sure.
I apologize. But to recap,
All the emails I had to respond to.
I know.
Oh.
I know. My apologies once again. So we're going to look back. It was 3 days ago, a year ago. Something significant happened in the Greitens saga, as it were.
Okay.
So I'm going to play the video for you that we've put together. You ready?
We have. If you're listening along.
Right through a hole!
Follow the money, they say. Follow the money, indeed. On April 23rd, 2018, a Missouri House Committee investigating alleged wrongdoing by Governor Eric Greitens subpoenaed attorney Al Watkins to testify about two mysterious $50,000 cash payments he received from an unknown courier. Watkins was representing the ex-husband of the woman who had an affair with Greitens. The outspoken lawyer took to the steps of a downtown St. Louis courthouse. Who was the source of the money? What did Watkins know?
How would you say to defend yourself if somebody says, it's kind of a smear that you've got two $50,000 cash payments? That sounds like something out of a movie.
Like a cheap drugstore novel, but it's not like a salacious penthouse forum letter, all right? And in 2015, if I received $1 billion from the Church of Satan in 2018, the Church of Satan in 2018 paid me $1 billion. Let's just say that happened. What does that have to do with a 2015 appendage infusion by the governor?
Well,
Can I ask me the question? The subject matter here is not for the faint of heart.
The reason that we want to know this is if the people that paid you have a vested interest in seeing Greitens out of office and Parson replaced, I think that the people of the Missouri deserve to know that. Wouldn't you agree?
I would not only agree, but I agree wholeheartedly. And if I was into tongue-kissing men with glasses, I'd be tongue-kissing you right now.
Oh my. Is
I'm
it safe
wearing
to say Watkins isn't the kiss and tell type? Much like many of the court documents, his lips were sealed.
That was it. That was the line.
That was good.
That was the line. That's good.
Well, first off, they both look shady as hell.
Yeah.
Everyone
Both
involved.
look
But that's
shady
the
as
thing
hell.
about this story last
Yeah.
year was that everyone looked like they were out of central casting. Everyone looked like, oh, you look like the shady governor. Oh, you look like, yeah.
Second,
you,
Church of Satan doesn't have that kind of money.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Their fundraising lacks.
It's
Yeah.
very tough. Their GoFundMe accounts really aren't that popping. But no, it was one of those stories from a year ago that I still think to this day, it's just very troubling. I think most things coming out of our government is troubling. So what do I
mean,
know?
We'll just settle it right now.
Hey,
They
you're
did
a
it.
liberal.
They
You're
did
supposed
it.
to trust the
Yeah.
government.
I mean, yeah, government, good.
Government, if you're watching, you're.
They are. They
good.
live stream.
Yeah, they are. They definitely are. Absolutely.
Guys, we're going to do Devil's Advocate. We'll save that for Monday. We've got a good one lined up. We keep pushing it, and we'll get to it next week. So if you're out in the St. Louis area tonight, go see Josh at the Midwestern or the Livery.
Yeah, and if you're Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, I'm pleading for you
He live
to
streams.
please come to the Midwestern. My friend Tony called for you by name. He said, "Bring The Rock, Josh," and I said, "I will certainly try my best." So Dwayne, if you're out there, Mr. Johnson,
I don't know if he
Mr.
meant,
The Rock, I want to smell what you're cooking.
I don't know if
mister.
he meant.
I don't think that's exactly.
You're a little far out of the
I
game.
don't know,
Josh,
man.
you don't
Hey,
do that anymore.
I don't,
Yeah.
Josh. I don't think you can. I don't think that's
Yeah,
what he meant.
I'm off the rock. You're right. All right, I just roll now. I just roll.
Before we get to fair,
This is
foul-
how it rolls.
Yeah, let's go on tour, guys.
Yes.
By
That was the
Jack,
one.
By Jack's John wants Modest Mouth to play with Josh singing.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think we'd be big in Boise. I think we'd be making boys.
What song could we do in the background with
Well,
Josh
you know what
singing?
song I think we can do? Well, I can do Life is a Highway.
Do you know Life is a Highway, Josh?
Do I know it or do I live by it?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Can it be both?
Can it be both? Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Should we just get to the chorus, maybe?
Yeah.
We'll just build it. We'll build it up right before the chorus. So
What a show it's been today.
we're not there yet.
Oh, sorry.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Life is a highway. I want to ride it all night long. Is that
That
it?
was good.
Yeah.
That was good. What a way to end the show.
Okay.
I actually just watched the episode of The Office last night where they're moving Holly up to Nashua.
All right. Daryl's just staring straight ahead.
Please call me back.
Let's do some fair or foul. Oh, boy.
At this defining moment, change has come to America.
People often ask me, what's fair or foul?
No, they don't.
Is it a segment? Is it a movement? Is it hope? I can't say for certain. Time will be a true test of its power. But I can say, fair or foul is now and forever for the people. Gather around the radio with your loved ones and hold on to your butts. It's now
Literally
time
broke
for
up on a
fair
drive up.
Back to you, the people.
or
This is
foul.
the show. Guys, big thanks to Tech Electronics for helping us put together this lovely studio. Be sure to hit them up for your business or personal technology needs. Guys,
Tech Electronics, where electronics are technical.
I just want to quit.
I was a
everything.
longtime supporter of Tech Electronics. In between the years of probably 2009 and 2010, I delivered Jimmy John's to them almost daily.
Good.
Yeah.
Good fellas over there. And ladies.
I worked at the Jimmy John's at Manchester and Sutton.
Nice.
That was on my
And,
list of
yeah.
questions to ask you.
Yeah.
about.
How many times have I worked at Jimmy John's? That's
many
the real
times?
question.
How many-
Twice.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Fair or foul, being required to list at least one X as a reference on every job application. Josh, would this get dicey for you? Do you have any torrid exes relationships in the past?
Let's not find out.
Oh,
Yeah.
there we go.
Let's not find
Yeah.
out.
Here we go. Gardner, you ready for this?
Yep.
Let's start it off with cankles. That's always a good way to start things. Trav?
Okay.
Foul. Of course, I would use Travis as my reference X and then never get a job. We all know how racist these hiring managers are. It's from Cankle.
That's true.
I think he's pandering to you for a vote to win $10 to Buzz's Wine Grill. Listing an X on a job application. Foul. If you think I have any of my ex's contact info, you're out of your mind. Now, excuse me while I get drunk and call this number I have saved as biggest waste of 3.5 years of my life
There you
to
go.
figure out who it is.
There you go.
It's from Wu-Tang Sammy.
Which one could that be?
Oh, man. I don't know who that could be. Fair. If punctuality is a concern, you can contact any of my exes. Well, I'll tell you, I always come early. Black sheep.
Yep. Yep.
Fair is the only way Trav got that internship on Sesame Street. He's got no exes. He's never known the touch of a woman. Hell, he can't even call him back. Have a blessed weekend. TT's. Pink Eye.
That's cold-blooded. I just got dunked on my own show.
Foul. Good luck getting a hold of Travis's last ex. I hear Westview Middle School has a strict cell phone policy.
They got you below the belt on that one, man.
That's from Chris Hansen's Lemon Squares. I just want to know, is it going to hurt to vote for a guy that accused you of dating a middle schooler? Gardner, who you got?
Oh boy. I'm going Wu-Tang Sammy.
I think you just have a crush on him. There was a loud noise, right? That wasn't just a thing in my...
Damn it.
Okay,
I
good.
just did a you.
Yeah.
I was about to go, did you hear that?
Yeah, I did.
I stopped myself.
What is wrong with all of you? What is wrong with you, Gardner?
You
Come
know
on.
that. You know what's wrong with me.
That's true.
I know everything. I'm aware of everything.
That's true.
Josh, because I'm sober.
Josh from Brotherly and Leather Jackals, who you voting for?
Chris Hansen's Lemon Squares.
Yeah, I thought that
man.
was pretty
That's
obvious. Chris
pretty
Hansen's
good.
Lemon Squares gets
That's
my
pretty
vote.
good.
Travis?
Damn it. Who would you pick, Gardner?
I picked
Wu-Tang Sammy.
I'm going Wu-Tang Sammy.
That means we need an intern to walk over to the mic, take a pick. Who you got there, Tommy?
Lemon Squares.
Lemon Squares wins! He took food out of a fellow comic's mouth for the superior email. Congratulations to Chris Hansen's Lemon Square.
I think that's Tommy's catchphrase now.
Yes.
When something bad happens.
Lemon Squares?
Oh, Lemon Squares.
Can we call him? Can that be his nickname? Like, can we
Yes.
do the radio thing where we name the intern something? Hey, Lemon
Hey,
Squares.
Lemon Squares.
Yeah, I like
Travis, try it in your New York accent.
Yo, Lemon Squares, get over here. Bring me a deli sandwich.
I don't know. I
and
don't
some
know.
bagels.
I
Don't slice them though. I'm not feeling that St. Louis slice.
But I don't want just any deli sandwich. I want one off 54th Street.
Get it on 54th Street. The Capicola is good. The Capicola. Oh, you gotta have the Capicola.
Excuse me, you too? I need to know.
Hey,
Where?
yo.
Where do I find Lemon Squares?
Yo, Adolf, I'm walking here. Oh, you moving
My
all right,
name is
Adolf?
not Adolf.
All
That
right.
is not nice.
The Welch. The Welch.
Why do you assume, black man?
Yo, hey, I got pepperoni on my pizza here.
I quite like pepperoni.
Hey, what do you mean?
Is there strudel nearby?
Hey, what do you mean strudel? Strudel this, strudel that, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Come on. I'm heading to Jersey later.
Why is your face so angry when you do that?
You are very mean.
You look.
Hey, I'm a New Yorker. We survived the worst. This is what we do.
That's not true.
Can I just interject here as a modest Midwestern? As a modern
your
Midwestern
voice
man,
is
I
soothing.
think that you both need to take a chill pill.
Hey, yo, you ain't Sonny Bono over here. Why don't you go walk down Broadway or something, man?
Sir, that is correct, because I am not dead.
I watched a podcast. They don't take pills, I hear.
I'm just going to stop the stream of this show.
Yeah, that's it. I'm done. Guys, check out midcoast.media for our
Sure,
capabilities.
you gotta take the 5 to get to the 7, huh? Queens.
I can do this too.
Hey Gertrude, how about you?
Oktoberfest.
How about you go get that Hefeweizen and then send me up a Miller Lite? Hey.
It's the worst show we've ever done.
No doubt about it.
Guys, thanks to Brother Lee's Josh Eaker. Give it up,
Thank you,
everybody.
brother.
Thanks
you
for having
coming
me,
on.
y'all.
Yeah,
Really
it's a great
appreciate it.
show.
Oh, yeah.
Go see Tommy Mosslander, our intern at the Funny Bone all weekend, where he'll be hosting. It's going to be a hell of a time. We've got Free Comedy Thursday back next week at Southtown Pub, 8 o'clock. Guys, that's the show for the day. Have a great weekend. We're back on Monday live at 8 a.m.
Birds.